Okay, good morning, folks. With race day quickly approaching, I obviously want you guys to be as successful as possible on Sunday, and I have three examples of how we may approach our races on race day. Three very, very critical variables to consider. One is fitness, two is your data points or your other race performances, and three is your tangible goal set. So, with these three different examples of race type strategies, hopefully this will be helpful to you. We are going to start with Miss Molly Kane. Now, let's keep in mind with Molly, we don't have a lot of data points. She had the half marathon, which she ran 1:42. She's relatively new with us. She's been doing really well. And so we have a Molly Ray Kane for time. So in this particular one, we only have that one data point, as I said. You've got the 142, which converts to a 22 5K. We're going to prorate. And Molly's is a little different than what we had talked about, but this is it right here. This is the official. We're going to prorate her down to 2140. Projected 10 mile, 115 and change, call it 730 pace, and our goal to get under 115. Now with all of you guys, we're giving you a 10-second pace range. Her pace range is 740 to 730. In this case, we've broken it right down, and if you look at the mile splits, we're starting at the top of her range, we're working our way down gently, we're going hard down here in this last third of the race, and obviously last mile as hard as possible. If you look at this, it's going to be about 30 seconds slower in the first half than it is in the second half. How could Molly Kane sabotage herself? By starting at the fast end of her range. It's going to be a little bit warm out. It's going to be humid. Course is flat. We're not generally worried about the other runners or worried about place even as far as that goes. If we get something, great. But the quickest way to sabotage is to start too quickly, and that's with every. You have your range. Start at the slow end. Start at the slow end and work your way in. Let's go to our second example. Our second example is going to be Myers on the Mohawk. Our goal here is to run for the win. What I expect in this case, this scenario, is normally when you're running for the win or a championship type setting, Olympics, stuff like that, championship races or running for the win, the time usually isn't that great because athletes are strategizing against each other to get the win. The win is important. The gold medal is important. So with Myers on the Mohawk, I expect that we're not going to have a lot of competition. I expect that we're going to go to the front and we're going to dictate very early, but we don't know that until the gun goes off and we see who else is out there. I mean, I've looked at the competition and whatnot. I'm pretty confident that we will be running our pace range and dictating from the front. It will. So with Myers, you might be like, oh, well, Myers only ran an 18 low time trial, 3 data points, 18:30 at single cut, but then boom, we had the breakthrough here, and we have a case of breakthrough fitness happening as we speak right now. So we are peaking perfectly. Our goal is to win with a pace range of 6:05 to 5:55. We're gonna mark the fastest girl in the field right from the beginning. And if the pace goes above 6:10 or slower, we will go to the front and dictate early. If pace is in our range, we will never lead until we're ready to take the win. Our supplemental goal at the end, which I think is very tangible, is to run under 60 minutes. But this is the goal. Number one goal by far. Supplementally, we'll get there. And our third example, Mr. Morrissey. So Mr. Morrissey's a little bit similar to Myers, only we have one guy out there that is out there. We're projecting around 54-ish. He's projecting 49-ish. I don't know that he'll get that. So we are conceding a little bit to the first guy unless the race goes out in our pace range. If it goes out in our pace range, then anything can happen. But Mr. Morrissey. So we've got 2 data points here. And we're running for place, folks. We're running for place. We are the number 2 seed, and we're definitely trying to secure that seed. 5K time trial PR 1540, marathon PR just under 235. This is his fastest run of his lifetime. That's his best mark in history. Goal top placing with a pace range of 535 to 525, 54 as low as possible. But I once again remind you, the goal is place. In this case, we're going to mark John Lindenauer. And John has a history. He's over raced. He's been running crazy for so long. We're going to let John Lindenauer set the tone early, assuming he stays into 535 to 525. If JL goes buck wild and jumps out at 515, we'll let him go. We'll let him go, and we'll wait to get him a little later on. But we're going to mark John. I predict we'll probably run together, and we're going to wait. We're going to try to stay in that range, that 535, 525, and we're going to go hard here. When it's time to take our spot and secure our placing, we're going to go hard, and we're not going to look back. Yet the key to a successful race day is having a tangible goal, is being smart, is executing your plan. You all have data points. We all know there's no big surprises here. But hopefully this is helpful, and we can execute properly on race day. Everything you need to know will be coming out very soon. Thanks.